space between there's always space between the incident or the child behavior and our reaction. And if we use this space wisely, we can respond instead of reacting. We always have the choice in that moment to choose love instead of choosing fear. To be able to be present, choose love, and to respond to our children need, and not reacting with yelling, screaming, and then punishing, taking things away from our kids, things like that.
That's really, again, I will say that many of the parent, when they try to do something for the children, they forget about themselves. They feel that the children come first, so let's just go ahead and do it without bothering about themselves. And that is the first step, I guess. To be able to do anything for others, you have to take care of your own needs. So, Carla, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things I realized from parenting, but also from being a teacher for a long time, is there are no bad children. Absolutely no bad children. There are unfavorable environments for children. There are environments that we create as adults that mean that children don't get their needs met. And the thing about that is quite often we go for punishments and all of these things, and they are reactive. They're reactive solutions all the time rather than proactive. And one of the most proactive things that we often miss is what Najla said, is about ourselves, is taking care of ourselves, is making sure that our needs are met. And even going further back than that, it's knowing what our needs are and validating them, accepting that they are needs and that we're supposed to have them. And I think when we do that for ourselves, it makes it much easier to do it with children, because then what we do is, instead of being reactive, we be proactive. And we set up environments that make it easy for them to develop, make it easy for them to get their needs met and express themselves. And that is doing things in the right way, I think. And it's very important to remember that, is to be proactive rather than reactive. And that's how we can get to that conscious parenting. It sounds, sometimes when you hear it at first, it sounds like it's very radical, but actually when you pick it apart and look at it carefully, it's not really.
Okay. Thank you, Carla. I'm in sync with you. And I completely agree with Najla over here that till the time you have got taken care of yourself and your own self as a individual, you can't go ahead and take care of others, especially your children. So yeah. So Najla, you are also a wisdom coach for kids and teens. So what entails in that uh, coaching? What exactly is that? It would be lovely to hear that angle also. Yeah.
Yes, yes, I would love to emphasize on this. It's great and so much rewarding working with teens. So I work with them, empowering them, working on their strength, and empowering them to build their self-esteem, their self-confidence, to be able to cope with change and be resilient, and even changing and then strengthening the connection with the parent from their side. So the basic work I start with teens is working on brain science. So when they understand the brain science and how their brain works with the neural path, creating neural pathways and the connections, and and they understand more how it's affecting their life. And this is something very important as well for parents, because we are shaping our children's brains and life by modeling for them. So kids understand their parents more when they understand what's going on, and then they shift their perceptions as well, so they have more possibilities. And this is really empowering for kids. And teens express that they're not really understood, by their parents. They express that parents are not really present for them. They express that parents are not really interested in what they're doing and what they like and who they really are. And having that safe space and that confidential space for them to share their emotions and their thoughts is very empowering, because the most important for them is for someone to be there and listen to them. And this is really crucial for the relationship with parents and children. So I invite parents to listen more to their children. And by listening, it's like deep listening. It's listening without judgment. It's listening intently without comparing. It's refraining from comparing them to others. And just children want as well for their parents to trust them more. They express that they are not trusted by their parents, and this is as well is something very important. So I invite parents to trust their teens and communicate more with them. And what I notice as well in in my practice coaching teams is their negative self-talk. So it's very difficult for a teen to look in the mirror and say something positive about himself or herself. It's really so difficult. They don't even have the capacity to look in the mirror and see something beautiful. And we work on this. We work on shifting the negative self-talk to positive self-talk. So they learn how to be their own self-coach. And it's really empowering. And that leads me to invite parents as well to stop being life manager of their kids and start being their life coach, even better, their emotional coach, being there to guide them to find their way.
I really, really thank you for bringing in this listening skills, which is, we all know we are so much in running that we don't have time to listen to ourselves, to our children, to our anybody. Just we are become human doings rather than human beings. So thank you for bringing out this listening part and uh, I mean, when you were talking about teens and how they're not able to look at themselves in the mirror and say a few positive words about themselves, it's really, really sad. So, Carla, what do you think? You've got children of your own, and I'm sure teenagers. If you have, then do you think that coaching is something which can bring in some positive changes?
Absolutely, yes. My daughters actually are in their 20s. They're 24 and 21. And I wish I'd had a coach when they were teenagers, because I would have definitely benefited from that. Because what Najla said there about being life managers, I remember consciously just realizing at one point that I had been so busy with managing their lives and their future and their character and their morals and their this and their that, that I felt like I missed out a lot of just connecting with them. I really felt that. And once they'd gone away from home and, started getting their jobs and things like that, I thought, well, wouldn't it have been nice if someone else had been able to do that side of things? And I'd have been able to concentrate more on just the connection and just building the relationship. And I think for parents now, that's maybe in the past we could get away with that because maybe the kids were busy at school or whatever. But now we can see with changes in society how important what Najla is saying is. I don't think that the new generation of teenagers their parents will get away with it. So I love the idea that there can be someone else there that can take up some of that responsibility to guide them and coach them through life and just remove some of the conflicts which we know to be characteristic with teens. We've also got some comments which I will read out. We've got a question for Najla which says, How do you think we can get parents curious to learn about parenting and being interested in developing their own skills, first of all?
It's by spreading awareness and by talking about it, because like we're doing now, because many parents didn't even hear about conscious parenting, and they're stuck with the traditional parenting, and they are really convinced that we can teach our children by punishing them, and um, you know by taking things away from them. And if we're not there out spreading the word about conscious parenting, how and how life changing it is, it's really a huge transformation for the best that we can do. So it's the best gift that we can give our children. This is the most important, is that awareness, that we just spread the word about conscious parenting, and invite inviting parents to taste that conscious parenting, because if they just um, try to practice, like for one day, refraining from labeling their kids, from judging their kids, just seeing their kids as whole, complete, not needing to fix anything, not needing to change anything in their kids, that would be a huge challenge, and would be really an eye-opening challenge for them. So my invitation is for all parents today is to for one day to just see your child as a complete, as whole, not needing to fix anything or change anything, or you know um, demand anything, or be in the controlling mode. And I guess they will have this taste of conscious parenting. They have the states of connection before correction, because the traditional parenting is based on correcting and changing and fixing. But we cannot teach our children by correcting. And if our children fear us, they won't trust us. They won't have the secure attachment. They won't be able to co-regulate. They won't be able to be in a healthy, you know, environment. So this is my challenge and my invitation for all parents today.
Any
Okay,
more question, Carla?
we've also got from Jamila says, what practical tips for parents to connect with teens? Because I think that's the challenge, isn't it? It's the connection that you said, Najla.
Yes, yes, yes. The first thing is to listen, to listen to our teens and to be present. Present means mindfully attending to their needs, and especially when they are dysregulated. So be there for them, be attuned and acknowledge your child's feelings and needs when he's dysregulated. Give him the safe space to express his feelings and his needs. So this is the most important. Listening, be present, no distractions, and then just be attuned to your child needs. Acknowledge the child needs and feelings. Let them express those feelings in a safe space that you offer them. Provide support, open communication, respect. Respect is very important. Respect builds relationships. Lack of respect destroys relationships. And love them unconditionally, because children, most of the time, and that comes from me working with teens, they live in a conditional love with their parents. If I do this, they will love me more. If I don't do this, they won't love me. They won't accept me. They feel rejected. teens feel rejected and feel unloved. They express that they feel unloved at times. So, uh, helpful attention, just um, invite yourself in their world. Go get curious. Like, you know, your child like playing video games, but do you really know why? What kind of video games? How it's answering their needs, and helping them meet their needs, etc. So invite yourself into their world, be interested, enjoy being with them, enjoy them, simply enjoy them, and be responsive, like listen to them when they talk, even when it might be inconvenient for you. Just put your phone down and listen, and uh, trust them, as you said, and let yourself be guided by your child, rather than giving orders all the time and being in charge all the time. Just give them some safe, risk-free responsibilities and trust them doing them. And that's what helps us build connection, communication, trust, listening skills, and strong relationships.
Thank you, Najla. So, before we go towards, I can see some questions coming in, but before we go towards that, when I was thinking of coaching, the few questions when I was discussing it, that parenting coach is coming in our life. So I discussed with a few people whom I interact as a coaching or as a client, and the question which came with the most of the people was, what is the age? They are very apprehensive. They feel that coaching is only for adults. So they were asking, what is the right age, or what is the age when the coaching for the children or kids can start? So
Yes,
Najla, can you please, yeah.
yeah. We can start just at the beginning, just by listening to our child cues, by soothing them when they're just few months old, so answering their needs. This is very important, and now science is showing that secure attachment is at the base of children being resilient and having self-esteem and facing challenges and coping with challenges. So being that caregiver, providing a safe and secure attachment to our child since the first day is the most important. And now, answering your questions, we can start coaching kids by age of 3, to 6, by teaching them about emotions. And we use flashcards with the faces, the smiley face, the angry face, and because what I noticed with teens, the only emotions they know: I'm good, I'm not good, I'm happy, I'm fine. And we have more than 4,000 emotions, they don't even know how to name their emotions. So it's very important to start with younger kids, just knowing the emotions, expressing them, naming their emotions. This is very important. And then we can grow with them. I coach children with stories and fun activities and arts and crafts. So it's not lecturing, it's not, it's more about just having fun, discussing few things, and then learning about themselves. And 7 to 10, you can just build more, because you know that the reasoning brain is there, so they can express more and then interact more. So it's more play with the youngest, having fun activities and learning at the same time. And with 12 and up, I coach teens and young adults as well. So there it's more like proper coaching, as we say. So it's more going deeper into brain science, into the feelings, into insights, deep insights, and this is really very powerful.
Yeah, that was a really insight that we got from today's. That this is really will be helpful for many of us. Carla, any questions? We can take maybe a couple.
Yeah, we have one that says, what do you think a platform like Race can offer to parents? And also, great points, Nadja. How do you get teens to be more open and transparent with their emotions?
Yes, by using mindfulness. We use mindfulness so they get attuned to their body sensations and to learn what's behind those sensations, what are their needs, what are their feelings. These are skills that teens learn, and they are great skills because they help them co-regulate, so they have their own tools to regulate whenever they feel frustrated, angry, nervous. And we have powerful tools like EFT as well. I use EFT with teens, and it's really very helpful. So to clear emotions, especially nervousness and fear before the exams and tests, and this is really very important. And it's a tool that they learn and they can practice themselves. And the most important is the teens' investment. They are really committed and they invest in themselves because they want to change. I work with them and I notice changes since the first session, and it's incredible. They commit to the practices. They commit because they want to change. They want to shift. They want a better life. And this is really amazing.
Yeah, thank you, Najla. So so many insights that it is going to be real good. One more question, which was like I just quickly want to ask, which is a quick one that many parents were asking, are they allowed to be in their child's coaching session? So some of them were like very apprehensive that I want to be there. Is it possible, or do you do like that? So if you can quickly just answer to that.
Yeah, sure, sure. Usually the sessions are done one-on-one with the child without the parent present, because most of the time it's a confidential session and kids are going to tell you things that they won't tell to their parents. So you just be there for them, 100% present, listening, provide them this safe space, you know, and then you just keep the parent updated. So I send a session review of every session to the parent with some, notes how to practice with the child. And this is very important, just keeping whatever the child communicates very confidential. But the child knows that if there is a need to inform the parent will be informed as well. So it's not like there are secrets or like we won't say anything. So there's a contract at the beginning of the coaching, and the contract is very clear about everything. So I prefer usually is I prefer to do the session with the child alone, and then with the parent I coach the parent as well. So every few sessions I meet the parent, and then we discuss the progress and what's going on with the child. And now if the parent and the child prefer to be together, it's possible as well, but it won't give, the freedom to the child to express himself fully, without restrictions, without fearing what the parent is going to say, what the parent is going to think, what the parent is going to do. So being one on one, give the child this freedom to open up, and then just say everything.
So thank you so much, Najla. That is what comes in my mind. I've read somewhere that you don't fix your child, you create the conditions for them to rise.
Yeah.
So I think it resonates with the conscious parenting that you don't try to fix like the parents used to do in past, that you are just giving them conditions and you are trying to provide them so that they can rise. They are their own entity. So I think that's what comes in my mind. So
True.
Carla, any last words?
Yeah, absolutely. I think children come along as their own wonderful package, and our job is just to guide them. And I think if we do a lot more work on ourselves first, it would make parenting a lot easier. So that would be my final word.
Love it, Carla. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you so much, Najla, for being here today and sharing such insights, such beautiful, deep thinking uh, uh, things for the parents and for all of us, that we need to take care of ourselves first, then going ahead and doing anything for our children. So, self care and self love is the most important thing. And on that note, thank you so much to all of you who have joined or who will see this. And thank you, Najla, and thank you, Carla. See you next Wednesday, the same time. Bye for
Thank
now.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.